So I'm a really cheap person, especially with smartphones. I don't really feel good about spending lots of money on a smartphone. But then again, I am pretty savvy on how to make cheaper smartphones work for me. The iPhone 17 Pro comes in at a price of $1,100 plus tax. So you're talking about easily $1,200, which is more than a MacBook. So you're paying a lot for something that fits in your pocket. And there's plenty of other options out there, including high-end Android phones and other iPhones that you can get even for free on prepaid, such as the iPhone 16e. But in this video, I want to convince you why you should actually get the iPhone 17 Pro and why it's even worth it. Let's go ahead and just name a few reasons why. So the first weird reason why you should get it, and it kind of is the opposite of what I'm trying to tell you. The price is actually not bad for what you're getting. So if you get this phone brand new from Apple, you are paying a lot. It's $1,100 plus tax, $1,200. Even if you were to buy it at this price, full retail, you're looking at, let's break it down to 24 payments, or pretty much 2 years. That's how most consumers over the years have been buying phones. It only breaks down to $50 a month for the phone itself. And if you're on prepaid, this is where it gets really cheap. So you take those $50 and you add a prepaid plan of unlimited talk, text, and data here in the US. And I'm going to give a perfect example of Visible Wireless, which runs on Verizon. But you could insert any prepaid carrier. Metro, which runs on T-Mobile, at $25, same thing, unlimited talk, text, and data. Or you can get an AT&T-based prepaid carrier such as Cricket, which I believe has $35 plan. If you're in a family plan, you can definitely get it for $25 a month. Boost Mobile is really cheap if you want to get a plan below $25, because they, if you tell them that you want to leave or something, and they'll bring it down to 50%. You can get the plan as down as $12, half price of the $25, bring your own phone. And then the most you'll pay for this phone and service would be around $75. So that is the most you'll pay on a single line prepaid unlimited talk, text, and data. That's pretty much what people are accustomed to now. That's all you need as a plan. And that's just if you get it full price from Apple. But you could save even more money if you were to get this used. You can save around at least $200. We're talking about around $900. Or in some cases on Metro, on prepaid, you can get it brand new, used. I think they knock off around $300. So you're probably paying around $800 plus a tax for a brand new device. So there's ways to make this phone kind of affordable. And it goes to $75 with the plan, and it just goes down from there. So for what you're getting, you're pretty much getting the best phone on earth. With everything that you need, you're getting the best of the best, and it's costing you not that much if you were to break it down into payments. And one of the big reasons why you should get this device, and why that Pro name is thrown around a lot, and I think this is the big reason why you should get it from a spec wise, and that's the 12 gigs of RAM and the newest powerful chipset that it runs. This is going to be the most powerful phone, most powerful iPhone on the planet as of right now. The Pro phone is always going to be the most powerful phone in the world when it is released. 12 gigs of RAM is 4 gigs more than the previous Pro model that had 8 gigs, which is the 16 Pro. And what does that mean? Man, it means that you're getting buttery smooth, fast applications. You're swapping between apps, and there's no stuttering, there's no lag. You could have 30, 20 apps open in the background, and As soon as you go back to them, it's just super fast. Performance is top notch. The chipset, everything feels super smooth. There's no lag. You are guaranteed to never really have any issues using this phone. Everything should work super fast with no issues. You know, when you get an older iPhone with less RAM and an older chipset, the phone just feels slow. You open apps, it takes a second to load up. Games take a second to load up. It may not seem, you know, a lot, but when you go from 4 seconds down to like instant, oh, it makes a big difference. And that's a real reason why people are impressed with the iPhone Pro models, is because they're just simply powerful. If you're gonna pay a lot for a device, that spec is what you should really be paying for, is how much RAM it has. And the chipset, obviously, you pair those together, makes for what makes the device so powerful. The next obvious thing that makes the Pro phone stand out is gonna be that extra camera, which is gonna give you pretty much, it's a telephoto lens, which lets you zoom in really, really far away with clear shots. This phone has 3 cameras on the back. They're all just super good. And you get the regular camera, the ultra wide camera, and the telephoto lens, which is only found on the Pro models. And it's very important for people that take a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. This could be your professional device for even your business. If you want to take, you know, shots as a photographer for any type of gigs, for weddings, for anything, you can make this phone, you know, the best camera out there, and it fits in your pocket. And on the outside, this is what makes the Pro phone, you know, visible, is having that extra camera lens. When people see that extra camera lens, 3 cameras on the back, they know that you got the best phone out there. The only other way to notice is that, you know, the orange color, but this is the real practical reason and obvious reason people see and can point out that you have a Pro device, is that 3rd camera. And since Apple pushes the camera photography experience so much, they stress a lot when they talk about the Pro phones. Apart from the RAM and the chipset, the extra camera is really what makes people happy. If they take full advantage of taking pictures and videos, they'll appreciate that extra lens with the zooming in from super far. You may not use it all the time, but it does help when you do need that, the best of the best. For, you know, for example, I like to take a lot of family videos and make home movies, and you know, once in a while, you just really want to get the best shot possible, and zooming in with this extra lens makes a big difference. And the next reason why this phone's worth it to get is going to be the trade-in value. Although I, you know, talked to you about how expensive this phone is, it's actually not that bad of a deal, especially if you trade in this device or sell it later on. It's going to hold its value so much, which is actually going to save you money at the end. They don't really drop in value that much. So if you do decide to sell it or trade it in after a year, you can usually get around half its price back. And trading is just more simple, more straightforward, less risk. You can do that at the Apple store and, you know, get a new device right away, trade it in for another Pro phone, or you know, either get a gift card or whatever. But this phone is guaranteed to give you lots of money back in the long run. It's almost like an investment, especially if you know, continue to keep upgrading your phones. So it doesn't make it seem that expensive in the long run if you think about it like that. If you get a cheaper phone or an Android phone, you spend a lot of money brand new, and then they don't give you that much for it later on. And as time goes by, the value drops even more on those cheaper iPhones or any Android phone. But the Pro phones, they're always in demand. People get them years after they're released, and they hold their value pretty good. So the trade-in value is really high on the iPhone 17 Pro. The next thing is really big, especially if you want to save a lot of money in the long run. This phone is going to be working for years to come, 5, 6, 7 years. And with that extra amount of RAM and the newer chipset, you could keep this phone for several years and it will not slow down. Cheaper iPhones, they will not survive after 3 to 4 years with the speed. They'll eventually slow down way faster than a Pro model. And if you keep your phone longer than 2 years, oh man, you're saving lots of money right there, and you don't have to worry about upgrading. And since you're getting the best of the best, you're really not concerned about what the next model is, because your phone is just so good and Apple does incremental upgrades. You probably are not going to be like so excited to get the next one, so it's kind of a relief, and you just are happy with using this phone for years to come. You're not going to be ashamed of using it or feel pressure to get the newest one, because this phone is just going to keep on going without any issues. It's going to still feel like a good phone years from now. And the last reason why this phone is just worth it to get is because since you're getting the best phone literally in the world in the palm of your hands, if you get this device, you are not, let me repeat, you're not getting any compromises. You're getting the best camera phone, you're getting the most powerful phone, it has the best and fastest chipset, it has all the options that all the other iPhones came before it, and the cheaper phones are all baked into here, and you get all the extras. There's no worry about, did I get the right phone, because it's gonna do everything you do plus more, and you just won't feel like you got something, that you paid for something and it wasn't worth it. This phone will do, if you could push this phone to the limit and you know that what you paid for is what you got. If you were to get a cheaper iPhone, let's say the 17 regular one, base model, or the iPhone 16, right away you're gonna start doing compromises, right? Although there were cheaper phones, but the camera, you're not gonna zoom in, you're not gonna have the ultra wide if you were to get the cheaper iPhones, and then they might not run as fast in 1 or 2 years, 3 years, but this phone will. You know in the back of your mind that you got the best phone out there. And with Apple and their software support, they're gonna keep pushing this phone and updating it, and you know that the newest software, this phone will handle it no problem. The longer that you use this phone, the more you'll appreciate it. And that goes with every Pro phone, but that's the way you gotta think about it. It's almost like a long-term gain. This phone just gets better and better as the years go on, and you're not really compromising. You know you got good hardware, you know you got good software always coming, but you have to keep the hardware nice and tight and high so it's future-proofed. And in the back of your mind, you know that you did everything possible. You paid for something, it was quality, and that's what you're getting. So those were my reasons why the iPhone 17 Pro, although it's pricey, it's not really, if you think about what you're getting and how this phone will be used in the future. It is pretty much a no compromise phone, and if you break it down, pricing is not that bad for what you're getting. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.